April 30, 2025, the Hustle of $1 Million game continued with another thrilling lineup. Returning to the field are three familiar faces from day one: the ever-charismatic Ellen Keating, the fortunate Peter, and the always entertaining Nick Airborne. Joining them are some exciting new contenders: Jasper, the rising star making his debut at the 501,000 stacks; Brittany, known for her bold and fearless all-in plays; and Heralabos, a Canadian poker pro and former director of the Dallas Mavericks. After nearly 9 hours of intense action, which 5 hands stood out to make our highlight reel, let's dive into the top plays and relive the excitement. Our number 5 happened late in the section. Texas Mike is nearly 1.7 million underwater. He was wiped clean from his day 1 profits. With nothing to lose, he decided to fully embrace his wild side. On the bottom, he opened to 5 big blinds, 5,000 with 7-2. Equally wild and fearless with his bankroll, Keating picked up a premium hand, pocket kings, and 3-bet to 35,000. Back to Texas Mike. Living by the creed, you play loose, I play loser, you go wild, I go wilder. He kicked off his pot sterling show, 4-bet, shoving his entire 300 big blind stack, above 300,000 all in. Keating snap call and, with the tip of the cap, revealed his kings. The epic little hand theatrics came to a crashing halt. When the flop failed the king, the hand was dead, and Texas Mike had to rebuy. A certain reckless 2-7 all-in cap grabber earned Texas Mike the number 5 spot on our top 5 hands of the day. Number 4, let's take a look at the second biggest part of the night. A brutal quarter caught 2 players in an unavoidable clash. Midway through the section, Peter had only been at a table for about an hour. He picked up the best possible starting hand, pocket aces. He opened to 4,000s. Sitting on the deep blues, the ever tricky Texas Mike cold call with pocket jacks, opting not to raise. Jasper then 3-bet to 30,000. Peter came right back with a 4-bet to 80,000. Mike tanked for several minutes and cold called again. Jasper fold. The flop king jack 2-5, giving Mike top set. Peter c-bet 70,000 with his overpair, and Mike just called. Turn bought a king. Peter continued with a value bet of 125,000, just over a third pot, with stack about even to the pot size, faced with the choice between shoving or calling. Mike opted for the later, just a call. River Cannon 8, a total blank. Peter shoved his remaining stack just over half the pot. Mike snap call, and the pot ballooned it to 1.24 million in an instant. The brutal cooler gave Mike a massive double up and a much needed recovery after being buried earlier in the night. With such strong contract, it took the number 4 spot of the night. Early in the night, Jasper raised to 6,000 with 7-8 of spades. Mike sitting under the gun holding ace-queen offsuit, 3-bet to 29,000. Jasper called the heads up to the flop. The flop king ace-6 queen. Both players had a pair. Jasper with middle pair of 8s, Mike with top pair of queens. Mike left for 25,000, just under half the pot. Jasper with his 8 decided to defend, calling the first barrel. The turn brought the ace, giving Mike 2 pair. He seized the moment, betting 80,000, almost 3/4 of the pot. The ace was one of the few cards Jasper dreaded. Yet against such a loose aggressive opponent, he gritted his teeth and called again. The river completed the ball with the 4, bringing the pot to 270,000. Mike, full of confidence in his 2 pair and exploding his image, shoved 360,000, a full pot overbet. It looked like a textbook story bluff. The bigger the shove, the more respect paid. Jasper barely blinked and tossed in his chips. The pot swelled to over 1 million. In hindsight, this might seem like an unnecessary hero call, but against a player with Mike's image and as a newcomer to the $1 million game, Jasper was determined and trying to make his own legend. After all, this is high stakes poker. Sometimes you hit it big, sometimes you reset and keep grinding. Jasper lived that reality. At a table with 2 wild opponents posting over 50% VPIP, he led the field himself at 60% VPIP, excluding confidence. Though he finished up just in the tens of thousands, his peak swing of 700,000 showed the rise of a true star. Later in the section, only 3 players remained after Nick Airborne and Texas Mike had peeled off. At Keating's idea, the blind jumped to 2,000, 4,000. Effective stakes shrank from hundreds of thousands of big blinds to around 100 to 300, tightening play and creating a perfect spotlight for real skill. Keating raised to 15,000 with 3 knight of clubs. Heralabas picked up the pocket kings and 3-bet to 60,000. Peter, holding off suit ace-king, 4-bet to 155,000. Heralabas clearly have no interest in taking the hand post-flop. He 5-bet shove, putting Peter's stack of over 150 big blinds to the test. If this had happened last year, we probably would have heard Peter snap it off with a quick and confident call in just a few seconds. But this year, things went different. Peter ended up laying down his ace-king. Some viewers might feel that aside from Peter's legendary hero call with pocket jacks in the previous section, his overall play in this year's $1 million game has been a bit too tight, maybe even underwhelming from an entertainment standpoint. As a real estate baron, Peter is more than capable of handling games at this level, something he already proved on day 1 with that fearless
versus Hero Call. Was his tighter approach wrong? Not at all.
Well, we used to Hustler's Wild Axe,
Firing with 70% plus VPIP and crazy Bluff, but it's the ones with just 20 to 30% VPIP who actually survive and win in the long run. Peter chose discipline over spectacle, rational foes, precise calls, and maximum value, finding real joy in playing correctly rather than theatrically. The result may be less flashy, but it's absolutely the right road to victory.
For our number 1, let's dive into the largest part of the evening. The broadcast had a glitch, so the pre-flop hand did not display correctly. Keating opened to 10,000 with pocket kings. Mike holding ace-6 suited. Call to complete a pot heads up. The flop king a-king-6. Mike pair his 6 and pick up a flash draw, only to run into Keating's top set of kings. A classic cooler between mortal enemies. On one side, the Nazi. On the other, a one-pair draw that could cost you everything. Keating c-bet 15,000. Test as Mike check raise to 65,000 and Keating call. The turn was a 3 of spades, a blank. In a 150,000 pot, Mike barreled 120,000 to build the size.
Keating, ever lag maestro, simply call.
The river was the 4. Mike, now with only a pair of 6s, check. Out of position with the flop nuts, Keating overbet to 450,000 into a 390,000 pot.
As one of the wildest lags at the table,
Keating balanced bluffs and value overbets masterfully. Flop and turn flaps, hiding the monster hand under the hood. Countless overpot bluffs and earth-shattering move require perfect timing. But Mike, down 1.4 million already, so only his loose aggressive reflection in his opponent's line and ignore his draw. He shut out both Keating's draw bluff combos and his own remaining 5. After deep thought, he made a calling mistake with just middle pair and watched the pot swell to a staggering 1.29 million, the biggest pot of the night. Thank you all for watching. Only $1 million game remains. If you didn't want to miss a single highlight, be sure to like and subscribe to Breaking Bad. See you at the final table.